Just checking to see that both of our runners are ready. I see that Burgundy is ready, just waiting on Gruntiatis. If he's ready, he's ready. I'm going to get him counted down. I'm looking forward to this.
I'll see some good stuff here, and we got a decent opening match here. Burgundy getting that PB today, probably feeling pretty good. Meanwhile, Gruntiatis maybe a better PB, but hasn't played in over a month. So could be a little bit of rust here. Could be interesting, CHX. Might be a close matchup coming your way.
Good luck.
All right, here we go. We are underway with the first arena of the relay between Soulless Bugmen and Leaf and Oopla Save the Day. Gruntiatis representing Team 1, while it's Furon Burgundy representing Team 2. As we get both of the runners in sync, they both have their Razor Shield manipulation. Here we go.
And right now, all they're looking for is good firing lanes. Just take down the enemies as quickly as possible. I think at that bottom door, you're going to want to slam that Razor Shield into them.
Basically, just stay in center, taking that Razor Shield, increasing your kill rate, and they're both going to get out of here pretty close to each other, actually.
Despite that nuke sabotage and then a grenade sabotage, Furon is going to be step for step here with Gruntiatis.
Yeah, maybe a third of a second at most of a lead for Gruntiatis. It's not much, so weapon quality now going to be a factor here in collective power-ups, as we have seen throughout the entire tournament. Foot for both, nothing to write home about.
And then a grenade, and rockets. That's something you can use.
Big weapon drop there for Gruntiatis here. A spreader for Bergs here. So some good weapons, but the advantage goes to Gruntiatis with those rockets. And Jacquemus Wedge, who we will be seeing in Arena 3, knows exactly about the firelings, but look at this. It is Burgundy that gets the first orb of the relay.
A little bit of a scary moment there, CHX. He slammed that orb right up at a grunt, but got away with it.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of dodging that orb at the last second there, but Gruntiatis was still able to get out of there faster with all the rockets that he acquired.
And some good sidestepping there. Made a hole and got right through it. Good job there by Burgundy to keep that orb healthy with that early haul of enemies looking to take it away.
It's kind of let the room get out of control a little bit with those Mr. Shrapnels. As you know, it's 18 Mr. Shrapnels, and he loses the orb, and an orb transfers to Gruntiatis. That is what I call a handoff.
Well, right now with those rockets, at least Burgundy can get things back under control here a little bit. Just struggling with the swarmers a little bit. It's 2-13 for Gruntiatis into total carnage.
Meanwhile, that's the last of the Mr. Shrapnel. Just has to take care of the foot soldiers, does Burgundy here, and he is going to be in there with a 2:26, so 13 seconds is the gap, but he is also down an orb that Gruntiatis has. Opening drop on key. Well, there is a pleasure dome in Arena 3, but I don't think we're going to be worrying about that.
I was about to say I'm really enjoying Gruntiatis' movement, but unfortunately, right as I start the sentence, drops the orb to some swarmers.
Death minute for the
And as he drops it, the orb goes back over to Burgundy.
Wow, this has been like a baton race, gentlemen, with these orbs.
Oh,
and then he loses it. If an orb shows up, oh my God, it does!
It actually had been picked up a few seconds earlier, so unfortunately the tennis match is over for now.
Darn. I mean, it was close, but not close enough. But anyways, rockets now for Burgundy here in total carnage, and it's going to be a respectable 318 for Gruntiatis going into the bonus room. Burgundy trying to finish off with the weapon set. He's got a nice nuke there to give him a little bit of a breather, and he gets another orb. Very nice.
Just got to hold it down now. He will use the corner to his advantage when he needs to. You want to get back to the middle, but it is a pretty safe spot to go. Gets the swirl, Harris. Just got to be careful. Manages to avoid losing his orb or his life. As we see Gruntiatis heading into tank trouble. First drop, not great, but has rockets in hand, so not a problem.
Yeah, that's the key there, but right now, 40 seconds back is Burgundy here, so that extra... Oh, but losing the orb is Gruntiatis.
Oh, geez, he's already in
Well, next drop is an orb, just got to get to it.
Wow, man, the orbs have been flowing for both runners here in this match. I mean, what is that, 6 already? Oh, he's cornered. He's had no chance.
CHX, what have you done if you were stuck in that corner? Looking at that situation, I'm not sure there's a way out of there with your orb and your life.
Yeah, you kind of just have to take the orb loss there and pick a route out of there and go with it as soon as you have a chance.
Burgundy getting clubbed down by the green shirt there, but does get rockets. The last gunner falls. So now it's pretty much a battle of who's going to get the better weapons in tank trouble. I mean, it's been Burgundy right now as it's another foot, but no orb. This is going to be a very tough go. And vulnerability is great when you don't have the orb. Razor shield for Bergs, but it is going to be Grunty Addis first with a 456 into Mutoid Man. Keep in mind, if he ends up winning and it's by a minute or more, he's going to get a bonus point for his team.
That could be in play here. Burgundy has been struggling with this room. Sidesteps those tank shots there, and it's an empty drop for Gruntiatis. That's just not nice.
So a rough start for Gruntiatis here in the Mutoid Man fight. Meanwhile, the tanks are still showing up on Burgundy's side here. A foot. That's not a drop he wants to see. A spreader
look at this
for
drop.
Gruntiatis here in a great spot. It comes toward him.
I think that's an invulnerability drop.
Yeah, this is what you love to see. This is ideal drops going on for Grunt right now.
Oh, and he gets sabotaged with the lobbers, though, which is not a bad consolation prize, but he could have gotten glitch-toyed there.
Ferran, a little slower than his average, probably into Mutoid Man. That tank trouble gave him tons of trouble there, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it was Total Carnage that really set him behind the 8 balls. It's the penultimate form now for Gruntiatis here, but an empty drop with the foot may give some time as we have a grenade. Oh, and zapped is Burgundy, and another spreader! Will he be able to get this one to lock it up? Yes!
And
what a great death and grab. That was a really good timing, and you got really lucky with that. It was perfect.
You
Final
gotta be
form.
How's the old saying go? You gotta be good to be lucky and lucky to be good.
I'll tell you what, if he would have played the arena better, because he came in, what was it, 456 or something? This was a 140-ish Mutoid Man fight that Gruntiatis just turned in. 141, gentlemen. That's pretty darn good.
Well, we have a 637, so that's 1 point for the victory. Now, can Ferran Burgundy limit the damage here and get the Mutoid Man down before 737?
He missed a lot.
He did, unfortunately, miss a lot of shots there. So every time we pass X37 on a minute counter, that'll be another point for the Soulless Bugman.
Absolutely. So he wants to, if he can't get it to 737, he really wants to keep it below 837, but he still has several forms left. I mean, there's a spreader, but he is able to get to it. He'll have to manual. He's looking for an invulnerability. He sees it too late! No, Bergs!
So mean.
Yeah, that's tragic. That's tragic.
Oh, that could have really mitigated. I mean, he could still pull this off, but it is going to be another point for Soulless Bugman. So it's going to be at least 2-0 going into Arena 2. It's penultimate form, so he's got about a minute left to finish the job. Another lobber, he'll take the death. Is he going to? No, he's not going to be able to get to it.
Unfortunately, he was trying to step down between Mutoid Man and the mine.
And now an empty drop. This could be 3-0.
Oh, feet, though.
Yeah, he was hoping for an invulnerability there. Doesn't get it and gets run over again.
If that had been another invulnerability drop, I was going to be very angry.
Oh, and the time is ticking here. He needs to get this done at about 8:24. I don't think that's going to happen. This is going to be at least 3 points for Soulless Bugman, especially that empty drop just cemented it.
It's going to be tough. He's going to have to be very accurate and hopeful. Well, that's the dagger right there.
Yeah, just too many empty drops and a couple missteps. You know, if he wouldn't have if he would have been able to use the spreader a little better, maybe he would have been able to get this just to 1 point, but not anymore.
Then he missed on the spreader there, so it is going to be 3-0 in favor.
Game.
Well, another empty drop. This keeps going now. He only has a few HP left, I think.
One more weapon should do it, provided he does not die here. Notice he's also playing on the North American version, so he is seeing lasers all the time.
Absolutely. So it is going to be 3-0 in favor of Soulless Bugmen. And coming up next in the Arena 2 gameplay, Ares versus Prince Leaf.
Wait, what?
So we do have the setup here on the left for the Soulless Bugmen, which will be Ares. And we'll be getting Prince Leaf set up here on the right side for Leaf and Oopla save the day. I guess Burgundy was, a great prognosticator there. not having the best run, and his team is down 3-0. But we appreciate him stepping up to do this on short notice. Thank you very much, Farad. So thoughts, gentlemen, on the opening salvo of this 3-tier race?
I must say, that was a very impressive Mutoid Man fight that Grunty had to send. If he just would have had a better arena gameplay, easily, that's a sub-6 for him right there. And yeah, as you had mentioned, he hadn't put any work in for about a month. I mean, he's gonna join the sub-6 club. If he puts some work into this game, if he has Mutoid Man fights like that, he's definitely gonna join that exclusive sub-6 club, be member number 21. You know, we're still looking for member number 21. You know, we got member number 20 quite quickly in the tournament in Aquas, but shockingly enough, since then, no one else has joined.
We have 2 players at 6 minutes at this point in time, and there's several with 6.0Xs, so lots of potential runners to get it. And 40-watt range said by the end of the tournament, we'd have 20 sub-6 runners. So currently, speaking of prognosticators, looking to be in pretty good shape there, huh, CHX?
Absolutely right here. There are some other runners that I'm looking at this list, you know, who have recently put in some work in there that could very well join them, and 2 of them were not even in the tournament. You've got Tetsuo, who has a 6 flat, just got it last week. Governator, who was in the tournament, has a 6.01. And Pranzo, who I've been seeing putting a lot of work into this game, has a 6.08. We may be seeing any of those join the sub-6 club in the coming days or weeks.
Don't forget about our old pal Tapatio J.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to forget about Tapatio J or Lick Arcade, who've got 6 and 6.08 respectively. And then you've got RNGesus, who just got a new PB 2 days ago with a 6.11. He keeps this up, he'll also be joining that sub-6 club.
Yeah, if you go to speedrun and you just look at the times between like 6 minutes and about 6:30, you're looking at any of the new runners are in there are possible next year tournament real contenders.
And I do want to point out something. Burgundy, with his PB today of 7:29, moved to a tie for 55th on the leaderboard. When I announced this tournament, we only had 56 runners on the easy percent setting. We're up to, I believe, 86 now.
88 runners 88 are now on the leaderboard.
Wow, that's incredible. You guys are crazy and making this game grow. We love it here. So we're just getting set up here for the Arena 2 race between Ares Fire Tiger, representing the Soulless Bugman, while Leaf and Oopla save the day. Will be the first of the aforementioned there. Prince Leaf will take the field. It's going to be a tough matchup for Ares, one would think. Leaf finishing 4th in the tournament this year. Very high-quality runner. Has had a 2nd and 2 fourths, I believe, in various easy percent tournaments.
Yep, and Prince Leaf, of course, does have experience in the normal percent category. And I don't know if this PB is accurate. I'm showing 50 minutes and 1 second.
He's only ever done 1 submitted run, so he probably could do it faster these days. Just hasn't put the work in on it. It's a few years old, I believe.
Well, I'd like to see him give it a shot here, because I bet you he could, in a couple of days maximum, he would crack the top 4. No doubt with his capabilities, he could crack the top 4 within a few days. I have no doubt about it.
Same thing with Jack and his Wedge. Needs to get off his behind and get that sub 43 actually recorded and submitted to speedrun.
And by the way, there's your circuit warp screen that you guys see now. And as you can see, you can warp to any of the bosses. Mutoid Man, Scarface, even the Cobras, and of course, the Evil MC.
Oh, Jackamus, I don't need to get a sub 43. I have a sub 40 on normal.
Indeed. Bryceoff with the 39.52, put a lot of work into the normal percent category, got that sub 40 last year. What is it, 13 months ago? Has it really been that long?
It is. Wow. It was during last year's tournament. I dropped it, and I got to say the now legendary words from like halfway up the stairs. It's over. We're done. And I have not put a single attempt in on normal since. But
I know you put in some work in hard percent getting that record from CHX, but yes, that is true.
I mean, if CHX keeps pushing me, though, I'm going to have to revisit some stuff. So CHX, what are your plans? Are you going to be looking at some full arena runs here? Or are you going to be working more on Metroid? What do you got coming down the pipe with your speed running here after the tournament?
Well, I just did a month of Metroid, so I'm going to be taking a break from that, going back to some Ninja Gaiden, but I never really stopped playing Smash TV. It just kind of happens in like the middle of the weeks, you know. You want to get the game out, shoot some things, keep, you know, your skills up. So I won't be stopping by any means with this game.
All right, here we go with Arena 2 between Soulless Bugmen and Leaf and Oopla save the day. Ares Fire Tiger on the left, Prince Leaf on the right. We start with orbs. But it's orbs. There are no orbs in this room.
Yeah, not the orbs we like. The orbs the enemies like, because these things are called orbs, or sometimes turtles. But either way, I do have to put out there, as 40 Watt just said in the GG Speedruns chat, CHX is now 15 seconds off the 100% world record, so you're going to make me play that terrible mode. Thanks a lot, CHX.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to.
There you go. So, yep. And I believe this is a timed room. Anytime you see that these turtle-y things that are called orbs, this is actually a timed room.
Yeah, so how this room works is you have to stay for a set amount of time and meet a certain kill ratio on the enemy. Provided you don't die, you should be able to take them down fast enough that you'll get out in roughly the same time. The problem is that they keep spawning and spawning and spawning until that time and kill rate is met, and then after that, they will stop spawning. As you can see, a little more difficult here for Ares, losing a few seconds. But still in good shape. So now we're into film at 11, and those are film canisters. That's what they used to put movies on, just so everyone knows.
Absolutely here. And this is the room. This is the critical room for both of these runners, Bryce, because to my knowledge, and it's been a while since I've seen you play normal percent, you've got to get an orb in this room. Otherwise, it's going to be rough sailing.
What you're going to be stuck really hoping for then is good drops in Defend Me, and that's so rare to happen. Hey, speaking of orbs, there's our first one of the arena. And we should probably talk about these swarmer enemies here. They move kind of crazy, and their hitboxes, let's just say they can be a little janky sometimes. Wouldn't you say, CHX?
Oh, and right as Prince Leaf picks up the Razor Shield, he takes a death. And yeah, they move much quicker than the normal foot soldiers as well.
Yeah, they're quicker. They got like a zigzaggy kind of movement, and they like to just like dodge your shots like Matrix style. So you have to really like wiggle a lot to hit them.
No, Ares drops the orb there. Yeah, and that's the power of those zigzaggy enemies right there. Very tough to keep that orb healthy there. However, looking at this, it looks like it's still going to be Prince Leaf out the door first at 2:34. Gruntiatus, though, not Gruntiatus, excuse me, but Ares not that far behind by 6 seconds.
And I just want to point out something. Did you say that those enemies are fast? Oh, you just wait a couple rooms. You'll see the fast version.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, I think we have a Mr. Dino mouse on the screen, so hopefully that'll go away here sooner than later. And yeah, this room, you cannot get an orb in this room, so you're going to be stuck hoping for good weapons. Nukes are decent, just because there's going to be certain enemies coming in that take a lot of shots to kill, and you don't want to be doing it with the pea shooter.
Yeah, cleaning up these guys isn't the worst, but when these snake guys come in, you want the smart bombs, you want grenades, you really want rockets is what you want.
Yeah,
but that's a rare drop in this room. You
it
don't
certainly
see them
is. Yep, but if you can get a rocket, you can shred right through those snakes. And when we get to a certain room, I'm hoping to see one or both of these runners get rockets for those snakes.
And we can hear the most beautiful noise in this game.
That's right.
But don't worry, there's a better room to hear that, guys. So hopefully Cards will get to enjoy that here in just a few rooms. It's an interesting arena. It's a very difficult one to play. It's very short, though. And at the same time, it's got some very iconic stuff in it. It's a weird dichotomy, I have to say.
Yeah, Arena 2 is like a gauntlet you have to go through compared to like Arena 3 is an endurance match.
Yeah, Arena 3 is just more about keeping healthy with that insane amount of enemies. There's a room that's longer for the most part than all of Arena 1.
I'll tell you what. Ares gained some time. It's now just a 4-second race going into Turtles Nearby.
Orbs are available in this room, and taking a death, as Ares did here, is about a 5-second penalty. The timer doesn't move when you're not on the screen, so you don't want to die in these rooms.
Oh, and he takes another death, another time penalty for Ares.
It's like 3 to 5 seconds. It's never been officially counted out. You don't want to be doing that, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you don't have an orb in this room, you have to basically hunt for one. If you do have an orb in this room, you like to just kind of hang in the corner and keep it safe.
Oh, Ares somehow dodging that turtle there, not losing the orb, gets a nuke. That'll give him a little bit of a breather. And it's Leaf who gets electrocuted by the orbs.
Yeah, take that nuke. It's the same as Eat My Shrapnel. This is a timed room. There's a slight time penalty for every nuke you use as well.
You know, in spite of the deaths, though, didn't really lose much time. It was 5:15 and it's 5:22 for Ares. Plus, he's got an orb, so maybe a chance to gain some ground on Prince Leaf.
Keeps this orb for more than 20 seconds, I'll eat my hat.
Well, yeah, it's hard to keep an orb just because you have all of these enemies, those zigzaggy enemies. They're moving very quickly. You get very much overpowered more often than not.
So these guys are faster than the other variants we've seen, and on top of that, you lose a third or a ninth of the room to that nonsensical hole on the left side that they've railed off, so you can't fall down it, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose there as Rockets, that's a good drop there for Ares, and losing the orb is Prince Leaf.
Not very surprising. C-Checks will back this up. It's very difficult to keep your orb here without a razor shield.
Yeah, you pretty much want to get a razor shield in this room, or else you're going to be fighting to keep it the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to do a lot of dancing to keep it healthy, and just as you saw, if they come from the wrong door there, you're going to lose that orb no matter what.
You can hold the middle without the razor shield in the short term, but it's exceedingly difficult to deal with it otherwise.
Leaf still in the lead with a 6:32, but again, Ares holding his own with a 6:39. 6:40, 8 seconds. And this is the room here. This is the room. A lot of swirls and a lot of these buffaloes. These players want to see rockets.
So this room starts with swirl attacks. After, I can't remember the swirls now, you'll start getting those big disc snakes that we saw in Defend Me. The 3 of them that came in, they'll come in 2 at a time. And I think you have to kill 12 of them in total. The weapon you want is rockets, but the invulnerability like this is a good drop, as is the razor shield. You're just going to have to be super aggressive here to try to knock them out as quick as possible. Because you can't do it with regular bullets. It just isn't going to work.
No, not at all here. And I'm not seeing Vitamin R here. I think the game knows. There's the Vitamin R. Here we go.
Yeah, and you want to knock all of these guys out as quickly as possible, because if you can't manage them, you're going to get bombarded by the buffalo and the snakes at the same time, and it's no fun.
So you get 5 film canisters, and then here comes the buffalo herd.
Yep, the herky-jerkies, and they move a lot. They're huge, and again, if you're not able to get good weapons, and if you don't have that orb, they can swallow you up in seconds.
The herky-jerkies? They're herky-jerks cards, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I missed one consonant.
But they are herky and they are jerky. They're the herky-jerks. So you were close. You were close.
All right, it's close enough. But in any event, both players having the orb here in the buffalo fights here, and it's just going to come down to weapon quality. Rockets can...
Nice moves here. I'm loving this movement. How about this, CJ? Both dancing out there and throwing fire.
A razor shield now for Ares, and more rockets now for Prince Leaf. I am loving what I'm seeing. Another razor shield, more rockets. Where is this weapon quality when you're... Oh, no.
And where are these drops at any point, CHX? These are insane.
I know, rockets and razor shields in this room are like a luxury.
Absolutely, and it is going to be Prince Leaf keeping the lead here at 8:43 as he gets to the bonus room. That's where this is the room before you have the Scarface fight, and Ares doing an acceptable job here, but the Buffalo Herd just keeps on coming. More rockets, good weapon quality. He's still at least going to have a chance, but he's going to find himself about 20 seconds back, as it's quickly time for Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
I literally was wondering if you were going to do that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, Ares did a really good job the first half of the room until he lost the razor shield. Before he had the razor shield, though, he was doing a really good job of dancing around and keeping that orb.
And of course, this phrase that the MC says to you before the fight is a phrase that's kind of been a staple of my channel, and that's Total Carnage! I love it!
So, a quick word on how this boss works. There are 16 shield components to Scarface here on his first form. You must completely destroy 15 out of 16. On top of that, you must deal a certain amount of damage to his hit points. You can direct fire at him with a lobber, which does the most damage, but any regular shot that hits him will do 1 hit point of damage if the shield is broken, and you'll get 3 for a rocket hit. It's roughly in the range of about 2.5 lobbers worth, 3 lobbers worth of damage, and if you're not able to control him moving him around the room, you're in for a bad time. This boss is brutal.
Oh, absolutely there, Bryce. And not only that, if you pick up a grenade or a lobber, you do get invulnerability to go with it as well. That's why we kind of have a phrase in your chat that says, lobbers, not launchers.
Well, that's from a famous rant about, Arena 1 of Mutoid Man during a very trying day of easy percent. But lobbers and launchers are fantastic in this room. Make no mistake.
All right, there's a spreader. It looks like a little bit of shield left to go on Prince Leaf's side. I don't know about Ares' side. I think a lot of that shield is gone. He needs more damage in the middle, though.
Ares has at least 2 pieces of shield, 3 pieces of shield left. 2 in the bottom left, 1 in the top left.
Problem is that Scarface isn't getting out of the way. Final form now for Prince Leaf, so he's looking to take this one and at least get a point for his team. Get back into this match. He's down 3-0. Lobbers for Ares, but he still has shield left and gets run over by Scarface.
Yeah, he's got to bust those shields down right now.
Yeah, he kept him pinned in the corner with the pea shooter for too long, not doing real damage to him, not breaking the shield, and that's what's really been holding him up on this form now.
The problem is Ares probably doesn't understand these exact things, not having played, I think, much of any of Arena 2, so may not understand the full boss components at work here. Is it 2 shield pieces still at the bottom, or
he must have 2 pieces still left at the bottom because that second form's not going. He's dealt tremendous amount of damage to the middle. He still has shielding left. I wonder if he recognizes that.
He may not know that's how this works. He needs to get those shields down. One of those shields has to go here.
You can see.
Go get it.
You can see how much damage he's done to Scarface, but if you don't take away those shields, he'll just keep getting more and more angry at you.
Yeah, absolutely here, and I mean, he's got lobbers. Can he land the shield? That's it. Prince Leaf takes down the second form and wins it for Leaf and Oopla save the day with 12-15. Meanwhile, still on the first form is Ares here and cannot get the shield busted. He's got to get the shield busted or he's going to be losing a lot of points. The
problem is that as soon as he runs out of these spreaders, he will not be able to control Scarface partner. Just automatic there. And come on, hit the shielding. Oh, it almost hit the shielding. Come on. Get that spreader. It's in the right spot. Oh, no.
So yeah, he's been pinning him in the bottom left corner, and he needs to get the shield out of the bottom right corner of Scarface, which is making it impossible for him to hit it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just not able to get damage here. Now rockets, that's not going to help him out at all, and there's a continue right there.
Well, just so everyone knows, I'm going just due to some, maybe lack of knowledge, we will cap.
There we go. Final form now.
Okay, we will cap any gain in an arena at 5, just because there may not have been that knowledge. Just
right.
Side here. So for the second form, we didn't talk about this form at all because we were still focusing on Ares. There's 8 pieces of shield here. You got to do about 1.5 to 2 lobbers worth of damage to his face. The 2 shield pieces on the right side, CHX, if you could describe them in one word, and that's, PG-13, what was the word you would use to describe those 2 shields on the right side?
I don't know if I have a word.
Those 2 shields have a hitbox that isn't fully and entirely programmed correctly. Sometimes you'll shoot them and they won't take any damage. They're very aggravating.
Yeah, yes. Basically the right side of his face, you have to shoot at diagonals and horizontally. You just have to shoot at every angle. Sometimes the bullets will not even hit. It's terrible.
I still have a clip from years back when you said there's a part of his shield still on there. We have to figure out how it works and why it breaks.
And we know it's because they programmed it wrong. There's nothing really happening there otherwise. So that's another point here for Leaf and Oopla save the day. Now trying to avoid giving up the lead now trying to avoid going behind here. Probably has to kill some of that shield on the right, although the face is taking no lobber damage. That also could be it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you deal nominal damage with the pea shooter, but yeah, you need that lobber damage.
And if you're inside of his face like that shooting, he doesn't take damage as well. Here we go. There's some damage hits.
Actually doing a pretty good job.
Look at these big shots. That's it. And is going to avoid giving up another point.
So with that, we're all tied up at 3 apiece. We will be getting set up for the final leg of this exhibition. Exciting stuff all around here, guys. The Soulless Bugman, Leaf and Oopla saved the day. Jackamus, Oopla facing off in Arena 3 Supremacy. Who's going to take it home?
Well, I will say this much. We won't have to worry about a tiebreaker because we are all knotted up at 3 points apiece. So basically it boils down to this. Whoever finishes off Evil MC first is going to win it for their team.
I gotta say, gentlemen, maybe it's a good channel prediction time if Mr. Dino is so inclined. Who's gonna take the Arena 3 victory? Oopla or Jackamus?
Now, I will give Aries some credit on that Scarface fight there. His second form was pretty darn good. His second half, he pretty much more or less killed it, but the thing that just really held him back, just not getting the shielding off the bottom part of the first form of Scarface, and that cost him, I'd say, a couple of points.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, the arena play wasn't really that lopsided. I mean, he was still a little bit behind, but it was really not knowing how to really disintegrate the shield properly that took all the time away.
We have a massive bet over there. Look at that. 42,000, I believe. Whew.
Wow, that is a lot of channel points.
I have to jump in this. That's a huge bet on Oopla. Man, I gotta give some to my boy Jack.
Yeah, I'm going to put some points in on Jack as well. I mean, the payout is pretty good right now until somebody throws in 40,000.
That's a heck of a bet. I love the confidence, no matter who it was. Looks like it's Firebroth who threw down there. I love it. So, guys, remember, after this is over, CHX and I will be getting set up and ready to go for the grand finals. Hoping the match will be as good and, yeah, honestly, if not better than our matchup in the previous winner side one that we had. That was a crazy good match, and I'm expecting no gimmies from CHX across the way here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think we're going to see another slobber knocker. I think we're going to see some more sub-6s. We're going to see some more 5-4Xs. We've already seen 15 of those in the tournament, with 2 of them being in the 5-3X range, both viewed by you, of course, Bryce Hall. But it wouldn't surprise me if we saw another losing sub-6 time.
CHX, I gotta say, I wasn't even mad I lost that 554. I'm not mad. I just knew it was going to happen to one of us. So it's probably going to happen again today, you'd have to think, don't you?
I mean, I can only do my best. You do your best and hope the game agrees with both of us.
And the game was pretty nice, even if it was blocking you a little bit from spreaders. Let's see less of that today, game, because that's just unimaginably mean.
Yeah, there were a couple of those spreaders that I probably was a little bit, overzealous on trying to get, but there were a couple that were really trolly.
Big money!
But either way, gentlemen, it looks like we'll be underway here soon for this Arena 3. Now, for those who have not seen Arena 3, you should get your popcorn ready, maybe get a drink ready. I mean, you're talking about a 23 to about 27-minute arena. And when I say 23, that's if things are cooperating and you're playing well. It could even be longer than that. It is a slog sometimes if the game's giving you nothing.
It most certainly is. A lot of rooms, a lot of enemies, a lot of dodging that you're going to have to do, and a lot of snakes.
Yeah, they definitely didn't skimp on any of the snakes in this arena.
Oh, no, they definitely went that route. And you're going to see just how mean this arena is. Well, a nuke on the feet to start, that's unnecessary.
Oh, an opening orb, though, for Oopla. So a great start, but an opening orb for Jackamus as well. So they both equal opportunity drops. You'll love to see this early on.
So this room, just 3 tanks, up to 3 tanks at a time. It's a set amount, and you should be able to kill them long before the swarmers at the end of the room show up. There's just a brief little spat of swarmers. You're not going to get that kind of break long term on the game, but it's nice they do that just to mess with you a little. And then you collect power-ups for a while you wait. So, you know, so you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, and you're looking just to grab a rocket before you leave the room, and of course, dodge those snakes from the statue heads up above.
Little
rockets to close, but who's going to have more left in their clip? It is going to be about the same. And Jackmas will have the hole shot for the Soulless Bugmen.
When I started playing this, I had played on NES only, and you can shoot the tank's bullets. So the first time I played that room and the tank's bullets weren't getting shot, I was really, really surprised.
That is, yeah, that's a wee bit of a game mechanic. If you're used to it, you would have to adjust your thinking entirely. Just showing how versatile our man CHX is. Has the world record on the NES version of Smash TV with playing 1-player 4 controller. You heard me right. 4 controllers.
I'm still waiting for you to pick that one up, just cause.
And the thing with the NES version of Smash TV is, unlike the Super Nintendo version, where I believe you have 4 credits, in the NES version, when you lose all your lives, that's it. Game over, man! Game over!
It's quite a bit of a meaner game, and Jack dies, so this is a timed room here, as we've discussed before, and Jack trying to set up to get this orb, but runs out of invulnerability and dies again. Not a good start for Jack here.
Not at all, as the channel predictions are now over with. Let's take a look at the pot here. We got 68,351 points in the pot, so there's going to be a big payoff if Jackmas ends up winning.
Now you can see how it's a timed room. You have these shrapnels that pop out at the end. What you really want here is rockets. That's your time save for this room, so you can clean it up really quick, get out of here. Otherwise, you're running in circles, cleaning them up.
And it is going to be Oopla in the lead with a 242. Jackmas about 4.5 seconds back with a 246 plus down an orb.
And remember, he had the lead into that room, so those deaths were time penalties. And then a little more from the shrapnels at the end of the room, because he couldn't kill them as quick as Oopla.
Here come more of the swarmers here. We got a spreader for Jack, but rockets, the rest of the rockets for Oopla. Again, they're both playing on easy difficulty, so their clips can last longer.
Something interesting about this room as well, the enemy swarmers here are reversed from their usual style that you see in Arena 1. The purple guys are actually the slow ones. The gold ones are the fast. It's kind of funny how they reverse that with these two. Maybe just to fool the player a little.
Probably. There's more rockets now for Oopla, doing a good job keeping control of the middle of this room, as Jackmas right now fighting, trying to get some weapons, just not getting anything but a dude!
As much as he's died, the game just wants him to have some extra lives. That's just really nice.
It may be really nice, but he's going to be double digits back easily if he doesn't start getting weapons. Boy, what a room there by Oopla. 357 into Dynamite Cobra Boss. It's going to be a double-digit lead. And there's an orb. A nice grab there by Jackmas, but now he has to find a way to keep that orb.
Yeah, Oopla did a nice job of just holding center and like taking everything out. Made mincemeat of that room, basically.
That's what you want to do in that room. Jack, unfortunately, dropping that orb before CHX got 2 words into that sentence. And then Jack gets shot. He is having a rough Arena 3 right now.
Right now, this is looking really good for Oopla here. I mean, there's still plenty of road left in Arena 3, but you don't want to be behind the 8 ball already. I mean, at least Jack has an orb, but he is now 44 seconds back.
Showing you the importance of that orb. Now, we should probably talk about this from Dynamite Cobra Boss. First of all, that's a little, what's the word? Allusion to what's coming later. But more importantly, you start this room with these 3 areas these snakes can swarm out of, and you get those segmented purple snakes. 5 to kill, and after 1 minute in the room, you then get swarmers. And it's everybody's favorite, the Herkajerks. They're back.
Yes, indeed. Those buffalo that you saw at the end of Arena 2 are back again, and they are back in full force with some help from the snakes.
And unless you get crazy good power-ups, CHX is going to tell you corner hiding is a very valid strategy in this room.
Oh, definitely, definitely. If you have a problem with the Buffalo room in Arena 2, just play this room a whole bunch and go back, and you'll have a way easier time with it.
Oh yeah, if you do full runs, your easy games will get so much better. You'll be so used to dancing around with enemies, you'll have no problems with the early game.
We're still waiting on the Herker-Jerks for... There they are on Jackham's side. Has a Razor Shield, so at least can keep control of the middle for a little while, but that Razor Shield's going to burn quickly when you have that kind of enemy.
Yeah, Razor Shield and the Rocket is like the money start for when the Buffalo come in this room.
Nice drop there for Oopla, able to get there. Razor Shield's melting down. This is the most dangerous time when the shield's partially broken. You have to try to break it without losing your orb, and that can be difficult.
Yeah, having one Razor is like, it's a disadvantage to your movement.
Jack dropping the orb again.
Because with that Razor Shield, as you might be aware, it keeps you away from the wall. It's a little harder to kill snakes and get better firing lanes than when you can go right to the wall. Good job by Oopla getting it done there. Took a while, but managed to break it. Didn't drop the orb.
Good nuke there to give him a little bit of a reset there. Keeping that orb nice and healthy here. He has been playing really well in this arena. Rockets now for Jackmas can shred through these Buffaloes. And there's Oopla taking a death. Kind of the first little mishap that he's taken in this one.
Yeah, he actually lost the orb. Managed to get to a spreader, but then stepped into a stake. Stepped into a snake coming down from the mouth above on the statue.
Oh, and then runs right into a Buffalo man there to take another death, so possibly a chance, and that's the end of the room. No orb, 7-12. Jackamus gets his orb back, has a spreader, as it's now time for Total Carnage plus Witness in front of it.
And keep in mind that
wow! Look at Jackamus! 13 seconds! He was down by 44 seconds. He just shaved 30 seconds from Oopla.
I'm not sure how he managed that other than he was using very good rocket fire when he was without orbs at various points. So
those two Oopla deaths really added up. I mean, he couldn't kill anything for a while in there.
That is a valid point from CHX. That probably was a big part of it. Something to keep in mind here as well. This is very similar to the last room. It's 60 seconds without swarmers, except this time you get 6 snakes. When the 6th purple snake comes in the room, the swarmers come with it, and it's a hellacious fight at the start. And it doesn't really let up because you get the regular swarmers who are a little better at getting to you. They maybe aren't as evasive, but they find your location a little quicker because they move in a more straightforward manner.
There you go. So, yeah, if you don't get that orb in that first minute, that's where things can get real nasty. And Oopla not getting that orb. But Jack losing his.
He was trying to take out the snakes to go for it. He just didn't quite get them all, and that cost him his orb.
Yeah, even if you get an orb in this room, with the amount of snakes and swarmers, it's a real skill to keep that and stay in the center and not just hug a wall.
I love this movement from Oopla. Did you see that? Instead of panicking into the orb or like running away and trying to create a safe spot, no, just step back a little, fire at the enemies coming out the door near you, take care of the other ones, you step up, grab the orb. That was fantastic.
Absolutely. Well done there by Oopla. That's the reason why he's put up a good time that he already has. 43 minutes flat is his normal percent time. I mean, yeah, the skills are definitely showing in his early Smash TV career.
He's been quite the rookie of this year, you might say.
Yeah, absolutely. The most improved award. Well, of course, we will talk about that later on after the tournament is all said and done with here on GG Speedruns. But yeah, he's absolutely put in a great performance here so far in Arena 3. Jackamus has done a good job to at least hold his own. And look at this. Jackamus has taken the lead.
Well, Jack's one advantage might be just innately understanding certain parts of how this game works. He's been a little sloppy on some things, but has been able to better use what he's been given, and he has taken the lead back, so a lead change again.
9-second lead.
Yeah, he was a lot better at staying centered in the room, where Oopla was doing a great job, but having to be against the wall, and you can just see that having 8 firing lanes compared to having 3 to 4 makes a huge difference.
It most certainly does, CHX, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the veteranship of Jackamus here with his experience in playing the normal percent category is definitely showing here, keeping control of that middle. And yep, as you can see, it's still happening right now. Even though he doesn't have an orb, he could be more aggressive, go for those invulnerabilities, try to take control of the middle. Whereas Oopla trying to keep that orb healthy, relegating himself to the corners, and that's why the kill rate is so high for Jackamus.
I mean, the main job early in this room is just these snakes, these purple snakes come in 2 at a time. I think it's 16 or 14, something like that. You're going to want to just kill them off as quickly as you can. Corner hiding is valid. It's a solid strategy, but yeah, if you can get those drops for weapons like spreaders and rockets, you can slaughter this room and get rid of those snakes quickly. Look at these moves from Jack in the middle.
Oh, yeah, these moves going back to the middle have been immaculate and gets rewarded with a razor shield.
He almost stepped on that mine. That was tight.
That could have been the Jackamus mine right there.
Oopala's doing a good job at staying center with those rockets without a razor shield after he's cleaned up those purple snake guys.
Once the purple snakes are gone, yeah, it's just a very heavy swarm room, and then it's just about holding the middle, which is fine, but now you're going to see swirls start showing up here. Except Jack didn't get any. What a job.
He got the one.
He got one?
He got the one, yep.
Okay. Oopla, I think, had 2, so pretty good job by both here.
However, I hate to interrupt you. 3 seconds that Oopla shaved off of that room, and it's a secret room, so you know what it's time for.
The Taco Bell? The Taco Bell?
Product placement with Taco Bell.
Don't drop that chalupa, get that Baja Blast, because we've got ourselves a real nail biter, and here comes the Cobra fights. Brysolf, what can you tell us about these dudes?
Basically, the top third of the room, they cannot hit you with their lasers or their heads. The heads are the part of the body that will kill you by physically touching you. However, the buzzsaws will be in play, and they can also knock your orb off at any point. But if you're in the bottom 2/3, like Oopla was, the lasers can hit you. So you really got to pick your poison here. And personally, I don't even care about orbs. I don't want to see them in this room. I just want to see weapons. Grenades, spreaders, and rockets, though, that is the dream. Grenades especially.
Orb is kind of like a band-aid to fix if you don't have drops.
Yeah, but then you have to hide in the bottom and you're limiting yourself, and ultimately it's a defeating strategy. You can do the room in 2 minutes that way, but you really want those weapons so you can slaughter your way through in like 140, 135.
Oh, definitely.
You can even break 90 seconds if you get some incredible luck.
Yeah, I know when you were running normal percent, I would always hear you say, I need a 90-second Cobra fight.
Yeah, I would definitely sacrifice an orb in a second for grenades in this room every day.
Every single time. You just plow your way in, don't worry about it. It's honestly the one time in here, other than dying to get a spreader for taking out Mutoid Man with an invulnerability, that you just ignore that orb and say, the heck with you, I got bigger plans.
Not to mention you're going to have plenty of time in the next room to get another orb, but you want to have an orb in the next room because the room after that is going to be the real test of your skills. The final test before Evil MC.
A double electrical takedown there. And something to note, once you finish secret rooms nearby, you can no longer collect extra lives. That won't mean much in today's race. And Jack explodes the Cobras first, but it's really tight.
Oh my goodness gracious. 1347 for Jackamus, and it's 1350 more time. They were even. I think they were 3 seconds. They're even.
That's pretty great. You love to see it.
Yeah, something I get people asking me about in the Cobra room as well. They both are linked with their energy, so you just have to shoot both of them. You don't have to kill them individually.
And they take damage if you shoot them in the head as well. A common misconception since they make a different flashing animation.
Look at this. Oopla gets an orb, and then we've got more of these orbs here, these turtles. Oh, but Oopla gets electrocuted. Oh, no.
So to finish a previous thought there real quick, the extra lives, you'll no longer see them. For our race today, it won't mean as much because they have their full credits available. However, when you're playing a full run, sometimes that can be the end of your run really late if you run out of those lives and credits. But as for how this room works, you basically just want to get an orb as soon as you can, and you just want to hide in the corner and just have a consistent firing lanes, kill off those orbs, those turtles, and just make sure that you kill anyone that draws close.
Jack sees an orb. Can he get to it? He does.
Because much like Eat Mike Shrapnel, C-Checks will tell you, You're not going to gain time in this room, but you can hemorrhage it if you're not careful.
Absolutely, and I do think we're going to see Jacobus increase that lead on Oopla. Remember, Oopla taking that, and he's used a couple of nukes, which I do believe, just like in the other rooms, are time penalties.
It is a small time penalty. It's about 1 to 2 seconds, 1.5, something in that range.
I think he's just fishing for an orb now and just grabbing everything.
Could be, because you do definitely want to have an orb entering the next room, and you will see why when we get there.
Yep, it is what I think we used to call it the 5-minute room.
It used to be the 6-minute room early in the days of running this. It became the 5-minute room, but if you want to be real world class on it, you're looking for 4:30 or under these days.
Absolutely. Here, it's I think we've got a perfect nickname for it. I believe it's the Room of 10,000 Foot Soldiers.
That's actually honestly a better name. It's more enemies than you see in Arena 1 packed into one room.
It most certainly is here, and this should be close to the end of the room here for Jacobus here, as we got a little bit of
in about
razor
10
shield.
more seconds or so, he should be done the room if he's been keeping his kill rate up, and he has not died.
Yeah, he has not died. He has kept that orb nice and healthy here. You're absolutely right there, Bryceoff. And a couple of deaths for Oopla, so again, I expect to see that the lead's going to grow, and that is the end of the room. We'll have the orb at 16 minutes and 23 seconds. Oh no, not enough keys. No Pleasure Dome. Boo.
Wow, that's not going to happen in just playing Arena 3 to get there. And as you can see, the problem, you start with these 2 disc snakes, swarmers, shrapnel's all over the place. It's an insanely bad start here. And unfortunately, Jack drops the orb going for that razor shield.
Tough break there.
Look at the replacement.
He gets another one right away.
Wow, 12-second lead.
Unbelievably fortunate.
Yeah, Jack has a 12-second lead. That lead's going to grow.
Did you see that? Oopla got fortunate there. He was trying to kill that snake, and the shrapnel he was near started exploding. But there was too many things on screen, and the game couldn't render the shrapnel pieces, so it just harmlessly poofed out of existence.
Wow, you rarely see that, Bryce. So yeah, a tremendous break there for Oopla, and Jack loses the orb again.
This is a hard room, and it's either just going to be hard to get back to the middle with your orb and get control. There's a lot of purple shirts, but on top of that, you then run into the problem of the monotony of this can be just terrible. It can really wear on you. You've got to be hyper aware. And wow, did you see that gift for Jack?
Yeah.
Not only an orb, but an orb in the center. Too good.
Too good, too OP. Please nerf.
Meanwhile, there's an orb now for Oopla. Now, let's see if he's able to keep it healthy. And yeah, Jack trying to keep the middle of that room there, not really getting any weapons to complement, which is kind of typical, and loses the orb again.
And I will add, P.S., please don't nerf. Make that the common thing that happens all the time.
Oopla with this razor shield in the center is going to give him a nice advantage and some rockets to help him melt some stuff.
Oh, he's going to melt through hordes of enemies. Those rockets just shred these swarmers. It's so much fun to watch. And Jack, I think, went down. Yes, there's a continue from Jack. So I think they've both used one now.
That is correct, Bryce Hoff. But I'll tell you what, Razor Shield's been healthy for Oopla, so I mean, it's hard to say who's in the lead at this point, but there's another orb for Jack. But the way that Oopla has been playing this room, it's possible we may have a change in leadership.
Hard to say here. Jack gets another orb, gets rockets. One thing I'll say about the Razor Shields in this room, they play out in one of two ways. CHX can back me up on this as Oopla loses the orb there. The Razor Shields, they either last for a long time and then they melt all at once, or you melt half of the thing and then you're stuck trying to break the rest of it forever.
Ooh,
Oh, definitely, definitely.
There. Jack is picking up the spreader, now rockets. Luckily, there were no foot soldiers at the door to steal that orb. Rockets now for Oopla, gonna change it up for some spreaders.
And yeah, this room goes for a while, guys. So, you know, if there's any donations to read here at GDQ. No, wait, that was the line. That was the line there. Wait a minute.
That was a good one there, Bryce. Because if you did run this at Summer Games Done Quick, I believe.
Yes, Jack.
Look at that orb pickup for Oopla. That was really nice.
Yeah, I died going for it, but was close enough to his door to get it. If even Jack had the same setup, wouldn't have worked, because Jack comes out of the door on the right, playing player 2.
Not only did he wait for it after the death, he walked further to the right to make sure he didn't lose it with all those swarmers around, which was really nice.
Something to keep in mind, guys, that doing that as well. So you want to get an item and you're near it, but you can't quite find that opening. Sometimes stepping just a couple steps away will change the enemy swarming towards you they will change their pathing, which will then help open that area without having to kill every single enemy, and you'll run out of time. That's the type of min-max things that really help you get even better at this game.
Almost certainly is there, Bryce. As we can see, they both had some good quality weapons. Jack drops the orb, but gets another replacement orb after getting sabotaged by those grenades. More rockets now for Oopla, doing some good dancing to avoid the purple soldiers there.
If it's okay with the commentators and runners, I'd like to read some donations.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
We have 200 bits from Trudan Ryu. Thank you very much. And we have 100 bits from 40 Watt Range. I used to play this game growing up. GG's to all the runners for this one to save the animals.
Oh, and that's going to put Save the Animals in the lead by $1 on this very hotly contested competition for Super Metroid. Wait a minute. We got to get back to this game here. By the way, speaking of 40 Watt Range, he will be joining us in the commentators booth for the Grand Championship along with Ferran Burgundy, and Jackamus will be first with a 2104 into the Evil MC. Good luck. You'll need it. Now, Evil MC is just like the Mutoid Man fight, except for a couple of differences. One, has much more HP than Mutoid Man, and two, moves much more quickly.
And three, he drank all the coffee on the premises before he turned himself into a tank man. That's why he moves so fast.
Absolutely, there is. Oopla still trying to finish off this room here. So right now, looking real good for the Soulless Bugman to take home the title here. There's a spreader, but he won't be able to get to it even as player 2.
You gotta remember, this is the Evil MC, and all the trolling that can happen on Mutoid Man is multiplied because this fight takes longer. You can hit long stretches of nothing.
40 seconds is the gap about for Oopla. This isn't over yet by any stretch, and he can get the ball buster too.
They are on easy though, so I mean the weapons do last a little longer, which makes it a little bit more manageable of a fight.
Great spreader here for Jack, and he even lines up. If he stays there, that is really nice. Wow.
Yeah, that was ideal.
So
Rockets
about
now
a
should
form
be able
separating them.
There's another spreader, but Jack will not be able to get this one. But yeah, about a form separating both of the runners right now. Lobbers now for Jack, grenades for Oopla, so the weapon quality definitely favoring Jack right now. Great spreader position for Oopla. Here's a chance for him to gain some ground.
It's going to cost a credit, and Jack waited a little bit. I don't know if he's going to get this one. It's going to be tight. No!
Oh, a missed opportunity.
He hesitated it just enough to miss it.
Man, oh man, they are getting brutalized by the MC.
And now a credit lost for Jack, so they're both down 2. They're on the same form! Oh, this is neck and neck!
It's still a lead for the Soulless Bugmen right now. Jackamus Wedge gets a spreader with a bit of vulnerability, but could not get it lined up due to movement.
Absolutely, because again, as we mentioned, the Evil MC moves so darn fast. And right now, Lobber's pounding here for Oopla. Who's going to pop the head first?
Lobber! That is, oh my goodness, he still gets it though.
Wow.
The MC moved off. He's like, that's too mean.
And right now, Jack pops the head first, but right behind is Oopla. They're about 5 seconds apart.
And manualing the MC is brutal. What a great play by Oopla. Managed to avoid that run over at short distance. Not getting much though. Should have gone for that lobber, I think.
Yeah, he wanted to. Oh, he gets another spreader.
What a great move. What a great move.
Will he be able to get to it? Yes! We're going to have a lead change, baby! Final four for both!
Transfer damage. Transfer damage has got the lead right now for Oopla. The weapons need to keep coming, though. Rockets. And it's a spreader for Jack. Weapons are favoring Oopla. Jack gets run over. There it is.
Was the nail
comes from behind by more than 40 seconds to win it for Leaf, and Oopla saved the day. What a back and forth seesaw affair between the both. Give it up for them both. Jack was not going to be too far behind.
Absolutely not. A real nail biter the whole way back and forth in Arena 3. And Leaf and Oopla saved the day. Am I saying the team name or what happened? Again, Ferran Burgundy nails the prognostication with the team name.
Absolutely. Now, it's not over yet because now, for about the next around 67 seconds or so, they have to collect these prizes. And then the final of the question mark boxes come up below on the bottom right. And you do have to collect that box before the end of the room.
And I don't know if either one's watching the stream to know where they're at. I'm kind of curious to see if they both are thinking, have I won this? Is it over? And this is not a bad Arena 3 time here. It's a solid time. 25:05 is very decent. Not
definitely.
earth-shattering, but decent.
25:05 is a solid time for sure.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you come in there at 17:54, that's going to be a PB for him. And Jacobus, I mean, this was close. We're talking less than 20 seconds for the whole Arena 3. Talking less than 18 seconds for all the variables that can happen in the span of 25 minutes. That's really close.